Welcome, sports fans, to your one-stop shop for juicy global sporting stories. In case this is your first time of tuning in, this is DDM Sports Central. On today's edition, Tyson Fury to face Anthony Joshua. Aruna Kodri out of this year's WTT Championship, John King. Pinnick narrowly loses out of CAF seat. Plus, results from the UEFA Champions League second leg round of 16 games. These and more coming your way after this short break. Do not move a muscle. We will be right back. Welcome back. This is still DDM Sports Central. We begin with tennis. British number one Jack Draper reached the Indian Wells quarterfinals for the first time by beating world number 4 Taylor Fritz with one of the best performances of his career. Draper, ranked 14th, controlled the game by winning 7 games in a row from 5-4 down in a tight first set and held his nerve to secure a 7-5, 6-4 victory. The 23-year-old Briton won 91% of his first serve points, dictated the rallies with his forehand and rarely made a mistake against the 2022 champion Fritz. This is only the third time Draper is beating a top 5 ranked opponent in his career. In an interview with BBC Sport, Draper said, "It's the first time I think I have played against someone like Taylor and felt like I dominated the match." He believes he can beat opponents in coming games. We wish him the best of luck. We move over to table tennis, where it's not a sweet story for Nigeria. After a hard-fought victory over Nigeria's Quadri Aruna in the first round of the ongoing WTT Champions Chongqing 2025, world number 2 Wang Chuqing of China revealed that studying videos of Aruna defeating his compatriots was crucial to his preparations. Despite facing each other for the first time in a competitive event, the match lived up to fans' expectations, with Aruna putting up a strong performance against the Chinese superstar. Chuqing, who was the runner-up at WTT Champions Chongqing last year, endured some tense moments in his first ever clash with Aruna, but ultimately secured a 3-0 victory, 11-6, 13-11, 11-7. The former world number 1 comfortably won the first game by a 5-point margin, but had to rally from a 5-9 deficit in the second game. The third game followed the script for Wang, who maintained his lead and closed out a well-deserved win. Aruna's trademark forehand earned him 5 consecutive points, creating challenging moments for Chuqing. However, a timely timeout for Aruna shifted the momentum, allowing Chuqing to win the second game 13-11. The world number 2 said he had taken time to watch Aruna's games, especially the ones where he beat his teammates. He said this prepared him thoroughly for the game. Talk about preparing early. We go to boxing. Netflix sets its eyes on Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury and Canelo Alvarez super fights. This is a part of a follow-up following the success of Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson on the same platform. Well, remember how that ended. In November, the streaming service entered the boxing arena for the first time by securing the rights to broadcast the contentious crossover fight. The event turned out to be a very successful commercial venture, even though the action in the ring was greatly disappointing. An astonishing 60 million households logged on to Netflix to see Paul defeat Tyson by unanimous decision. According to sources, 50 million watched the co-main event featuring Katie Taylor against Amanda Serrano. The event, held at Arlington, Texas's AT&T Stadium, also broke the record for the largest boxing gate in the US outside of Las Vegas. Now we move over to the UEFA Champions League. All the UEFA Champions League games round of 16 have been concluded, and we now know the final 8. Well, my predictions for the final 4 failed, and I'm sure many too predicted at the time I did, before the quarterfinal before the round of 16 games, would have got one or two predictions wrong. Anyway, Barcelona humbled Benfica 2-1. It was 1-0 in favor of Barcelona when they traveled away to Benfica in the first leg to give them a 3-1 aggregate victory. They will now face Dortmund in the quarterfinals. Borussia Dortmund recovered from losing an early goal to fight back and beat Lille 2-1 in France in the second leg of their Champions League last 16 tie on Wednesday, sealing a 3-2 aggregate victory and a place in the quarterfinals. Jonathan David gave Lille an early lead on the night, putting the French club ahead in the tie after last week's 1-1 first leg draw. However, Emre Can squared things by converting a penalty for Dortmund in the 54th minute, and Maximilian Bayer then fired in a fine winner for last season's runner-up. My shocker of the round of 16 was the match between Liverpool and PSG. Sincerely, I thought Liverpool were going to take that game. The PSG coach had boasted before the game that his team would turn things around in the second leg, and they did. The game tied at 1-1 aggregate after full time and extra time, and they had to go into penalties. PSG silenced the home fans as they knocked out tournament favourites Liverpool. Marco Asensio starred as Aston Villa beat 10-man Club Brugge 3-0 on Wednesday to book a Champions League quarter-final clash with Paris Saint-Germain. Asensio came off the bench to strike twice in the second half of the last 16-second leg at Villa Park. Villa qualified on a 6-1 aggregate victory. This was the first time in 42 years Aston Villa would qualify for the last 8 of the UEFA Champions League. Unai Emery's men are the first team to reach the Champions League quarterfinals in their debut season in the competition since Atalanta in the 2019-2020 season. Bayern Munich defeated Bayer Leverkusen 2-0 in front of the Leverkusen fans to advance to the quarterfinals on a 5-0 aggregate scoreline. Bayern will face Inter Milan, who defeated Feyenoord 2-1 to advance on a 4-1 aggregate scoreline. Defending champions Real Madrid kept their hopes of a 16th Champions League title after they survived the fighting spirit of Atletico Madrid to eliminate their opponents 4-2 on penalties after full time had ended 1-0 in favor of Atletico Madrid to tie the score at 2-2 on aggregate. Conor Gallagher had scored for Atletico in just 27 seconds of the game. Real had won the first leg 2-1. The scoreline meant the game had to go into penalties. Real Madrid went on to win 4-2 on penalties. But Atletico Madrid's coach Diego Simeone and fans of the club will not forgive the VAR officials for disallowing the kick taken by former Man City player Alvarez. Alvarez was adjudged to have touched the ball twice as it struck his effort. It's all good, Atletico Madrid, you fought well, but you know what? There's something about Real Madrid and the Champions League. I'm sure you guys know that already. So we have the quarterfinal pairings as follows. PSG will be taking on Aston Villa. Barcelona will take on Dortmund. Arsenal will face Real Madrid. Bayern Munich will host Inter Milan. Please do not forget to send in your prediction of who you think your final four will be. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Diaspora Digital Media. The first correct entry gets a gift from DDF Sports Central. Now we go to Amaju Pinnick and his bid to secure a re-election. Well, it wasn't success for Amaju Pinnick as he lost out of the re-election bid by narrowly. Djibouti's Suleiman Waberi secured the last available seat with 29 votes, edging out Pinnick, who managed 28. Morocco's Fouzi Lekia topped the election with 49 votes, while Egypt's Hani Rida and Niger's Jibrila Hamidou each pulled 35 votes. Mauritania's Ahmed Yahya and Waberi also had their places with 29 votes apiece. Some international media reports have tagged this as a setback for Pinnick, but I don't see it that way. Pinnick himself, before this election, had said it was not a do or die affair. So I don't see why it should be tagged as a setback. Anyways, in the women's category, Kanizat Ibrahim from Comoros clinched the seat with 30 votes, outpacing Lydia Nsekera, who got 13 votes, and Isha, who scored 7 votes. And with that story, we have come to the end of today's edition of DDM Sports Central. I hope you enjoyed all that we have brought to you on this edition. Please do not forget to like, share, and comment on this edition and previous editions of DDM Sports Central. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Diaspora Digital Media, and see all the other packages that we have for you right there. Until I come your way again on another edition, I remain your host with the Sparks Ugochukwu. Do have a lovely and sporty day ahead. Bye for now.